Hey, what's up? What's going on out there? I'm going to be talking about this video with Tulsi Gabbard. She's going to be talking about Kamala's economic plan, the plan she presented or the plan she did not present during the debate. And like a lot of people out there, I watched the debate last night. It was pretty much what I expected. A lot of empty political calories, political banter back and forth. Not both parties not really answering questions, direct questions. You know, the same old, same old. Full disclaimer, I don't care for either party. Either party is not really going to do anything for so-called black people anyway. So I'm going to check out the video and give my raw opinion.
Let's bring in former 2024 GOP presidential candidate. Do we have him yet? Vivek Ramaswamy. We don't have Vivek yet. Let's go and bring in the panel very well. We got him. Hold on, panel. We're going to go to Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, thank you for coming on the show. We very much appreciate it. I want to get your thoughts, what you thought of the former president's performance and what you thought of the moderators themselves.
So, Trace, I'm always going to tell it to you like it is. I think that Kamala Harris exceed the very low expectations that were purposely set for her. I think she did. That being said, I think that Donald Trump did exactly what he needed to do on questions of policy. The biggest win for either candidate tonight, and I do think it was a win for Donald Trump, is clarifying his position on abortion, which has been completely mangled by the Kamala Harris and Biden campaigns and the media, claiming that he would somehow sign a federal abortion ban, which, by the way, he has been consistently against. I thought his opportunity to level directly both with the moderators and with Kamala Harris, to be crystal clear on that position, and then turn it back on her to leave open a question she did not answer and I think will not answer. What her position actually is on month 6, 7, 8, 9, I thought was one of the more brilliant moments in the debate.
That's true. She beat around the bush when they asked her that question. So that was one time. He's correct about that one.
The other part that I liked was where he actually captured the essence of it, where he said, we could end this debate right now. You could go sign either a bill or an executive action to close the border. She had nothing to say. And I think those were the two most powerful moments of the night.
Yeah, Vivek, stand by. We've got Tulsi Gabbard, as you can see, with us now. Tulsi, your thoughts, because you look at social media and a lot of people, even Republicans, thought the former president took the bait a lot tonight, much more than he should have.
I saw something quite different, Trace. What I saw was President Trump staying very focused on the issues that are most important to the American people continuously, no matter what kind of lies or baiting attempts Kamala Harris or the moderators threw at him. He kept coming back to the issues that the American people are concerned about. He kept coming back to Kamala Harris's broken border and the fact that that's causing incredible hardship and people to be afraid to walk on their own streets. He kept bringing it back to rising crime and the fact that most Americans now having a hard time affording the basic necessities because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's inflation and rising cost of living. President Trump brought voice to the American people who have felt ignored and unheard for the last 3.5+ years by the Harris and Biden administration. And tonight, Kamala Harris not only did not acknowledge that the American people are struggling right now, she didn't talk at all about how she will fix or try to fix what she's broken. And I think it's because she knows that she can't.
It's interesting.
I agree with her 100% on that. When she was presented with that one, she kind of lost her train of thought. She didn't know what to think. And then she didn't know that it was going to get to that extent. And she didn't know how to answer the question.
Vivek, because Tulsi says that the former president brought voice to the American people. Did he bring the fire to the feet of Kamala Harris? Did he press her enough on all of her flip-flops?
Well, I think the most important part was that he actually spoke for the 80+ million Americans, probably 90+ million Americans, if things go well, that are going to vote for him. But also for many of the Americans who may even disagree with some of his positions. They don't want to stay out of World War III. I think Donald Trump spoke really clearly to the fact that Kamala Harris's words pale in comparison to his actions in securing peace. We were on the brink of war with North Korea, kept us out of it, avoided 2 major wars that we're now in, Russia, Ukraine, what's going on in the Middle East. And so I think he really landed that. As far as it goes to holding Kamala Harris's feet to the fire, you had muted mics in each direction. That's the job of the moderators, and particularly one of the two moderators I thought did a disastrous job today in feigning fact checks of Donald Trump without remotely even appearing to apply those same standards to Kamala Harris. But I do trust the voters, Trace.
I saw that too. Like, they were applying a lot of excuse me, a lot of pressure to Donald Trump. It seemed like at times they were kind of ganging up on him, and they didn't do the same thing to Kamala when asked certain questions. They kind of like put it under the bridge a little bit.
They've been tricked by the media before. I think many voters are now attuned to that. And so what we may see is that may actually backfire in a counterintuitive way where people feel like Donald Trump's being set up.
And he makes a very good point, Tulsi, because even some of the Democrats that I talked to tonight were like, yeah, it seems a little one-sided. It seems like they're fact-checking Trump at every opportunity, and they're letting Kamala Harris just run wild.
Which wasn't a surprise to President Trump at all. He knew very well going into this debate and agreed to it anyway, knowing that it was going to be a 3-against-1 debate the entire time. This just shows, again, Donald Trump isn't afraid to debate Kamala Harris or anyone, anywhere, anytime. And I think it speaks volumes that right after an hour-and-a-half long debate, it's close to midnight, Donald Trump came straight here to this room and spoke to hundreds of reporters, answered their questions, walked around to different parts of the room. And where's Kamala Harris? Still, here we are. She hasn't done a single solo interview with any reporter. She's the one who's afraid. She's good at reciting rehearsed lines. But when it comes to actually telling the truth to the American people, she is failing on all fronts. And the biggest thing is, this is a slap in the face to voters because she's too afraid to speak to reporters. She's too afraid to answer questions. And they're the ones who lose as a result.
Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you both for your time. We appreciate it.
Hey,
I'm going to end the video right there. Honestly, I think she did a pretty decent job, seeing that like that was the first time she was on that type of platform. I thought she did decent, you know, being in that particular format. But like they said, like it was certain situations, like they could have asked her questions, fact checked her with certain things, and it was like, you know, things under the bridge or water under the bridge or whatever. But when it came to Trump, they were like grilling him more, you know, with the questions. But at the same time, he dodged questions too. Like they were asking him things, and I forgot the question they even asked him because he was just rambling, going around, you know, changing the subject, you know, things like that. But you know, like I said, both parties to me pretty much are worthless. You know, like I said before earlier, they don't present anything for the so-called black people. You know, it's up to us to take care of ourselves, to build an economic base for us, and to really take care of our community. But you know what? I'm probably going to go over a lot of people's heads when I say this. It's going to come a point in time where we're going to have to turn back to the Most High, you know, and follow his path that he has for us and keep on a righteous and steady path. That's the only thing that's going to save so-called black people. Now, if you're not on that spiritual wavelength and you don't believe in the Most High, okay, that's your business. If you want to think in like just a worldly view or whatnot, then you have to build an economic base. That's what we got to do, stick together, and we put the politician together and we tell them what to do. But when a politician gets to a level like a president, they don't really control a lot of things anyway. They're just a member, like part of a board, like the head of a board of McDonald's or something, like a corporation. They don't really run anything or have as much power as you think. But that's my 1-2 on it. You know, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about it.